ready for something new. I know what I've got to do. Goodbye, devil's kiss. Bye, bye, kiss. Heartbreaks I won't miss. Know what I've got to do. Goodbye, devil's kiss. Bye, bye, kiss. Goodbye, devil's kiss. Goodbye.
You say you're afraid to fail. Risk is what success will entail. Great things require great sacrifice. Every great thing comes with a hefty price. Failure's just a learning opportunity. Where's the fear? Set your dreams free. Step out and take the risk. You must go big or go home. Success or bust. Don't keep your gifts inside. Don't let fear make you hide. It may take 100 million tries or more, but if you keep going, one day you'll score. Fear is just
Tonight I am all discombobulated. We are getting everything going late. But it's all good. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for showing up, Malachi and Ubi. You know I loved ya. Let's see. I gotta get rid of that off my screen so you don't see that. Not blocked in. Lovely. So great. Nothing like starting on the wrong foot. But the good news is we're back in black. We're gonna be starting up. We're gonna be getting back to work. We started our bull. Started bull. It's plenty of bull on this last week. Yes, I am here, and that does make all the difference. Yeah, we're gonna finish up some the work on the feathers. I know right now, as big as she is, or as zoomed out as she is, the feathers don't look like they make a difference. It doesn't look like we did all that much work last week, but when you zoom in, you really see the difference. We've got where the bull is going to be positioned, and we will work on that later if we've got time. But we will be getting back to work on our angel and her feathers. And now that you're zoomed in more, you're seeing her at 57%. If we zoom in even more, you can definitely tell the difference between the feathers and not feathers. Let's see. Let's try to get it at 100%. Yeah, that's at 100%. That's what it looks like when it's fully zoomed in. And the feathers make so much difference. You know, it just gives it that added touch. So that's why we're going to be getting back to work on her feathers again tonight. We will work more on the bull too, but I definitely want to work more on the feathers. And, yes. Well, you know, I was born with and this is no joke. I really was born with the initials BS. So when I say that I know BS, I know BS. I slightly upgraded when I married Ubi from BS to BM. Married into the Millers, just not the money side of that equation. But it's okay. He's worth more than all the money in the world. Bring that smudge down just a touch, zoom in, and we'll get to town on those feathers again. I'm really hopeful. Ew, look at that nastiness. Okay. Oh, I see. I gotta... Thank you, computer, for reminding me that I gotta now pop into her to be able to edit her. When I say her, oh my goodness. But yeah, we got some little nastiness. I gotta figure out where it's coming from. Nope, not there. Maybe there. Nope. Nope. Definitely not there. Haha. The guilty party. There we go. Hey, Timothy. How are you this evening? How is Monday treating Timothy? Speaking of which, how is Monday treating all of us? Malachi, I did see your offer for a trade, by the way. I will be getting in touch with you. I have been combing the house looking for some documentation that I need, so that's why I didn't really get anything done that I wanted to get done. Lame excuse, but factual. I range between hyper organized and couldn't organize a box. And today was the couldn't organize a box kind of day. Sadly. Doing same old, same old. Well, you're still breathing. I will say that that is much preferable to the alternative, wouldn't you? I wonder if this is even playing around. No, it's not. So I'm going to have to jiggle the mousey. Sometimes it takes like letting the mouse do it first before it actually receives what I'm trying to do with the digital pin, and I don't know why that is. And I haven't really spent a lot of time trying to figure it out either, so to be fair. But it is a little strange to me. Yay! Happy to have my crew. Even if it's a small crew, at least we know each other, we roll well. You guys are awesome, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate the fact that you show up for me each week. I mean, it's not that I wouldn't do drawing anyway, because I do plenty of art on my own. But it's always nice that if I'm going to go live, to have company, to have people show up and at least pretend to care. And if you're pretending, you're doing an awfully great job. No, just kidding. I know you guys do. And that's part of what makes it special. We get to hang with people who actually care. So would I like more of a crowd? Sometimes, but you know what? I'm also okay with the small, intimate crowd of people who just genuinely care. But yeah. Another bad day, but trying to hang with people and catching videos today. It is a big community. We got a lot of people. And it grows, you know. It grows. And that's one of the reasons why I try not to get, you know, too down if people don't show, because there's a lot of people out there to hang out with. I know Brother Ed and his show go on shortly before mine. And he's got people that come on live, so I know that's a factor. I'm not the only gig out there. And you guys, technically, you guys are guitarists, not directly tangential to the art. So you guys are showing up in spite. And I appreciate that. Really, really do. But I was excited. It's pouring cats and dogs outside. Yikes, Malachi. Hopefully you won't need to build yourself an ark. We haven't had a really deep driving rain like that in a good while, though. I kind of miss it. I should be careful what I ask for, though. Next time I get it, it'll likely be when I have to be taking Mia to the bus stop. It'll be me standing out there in the pouring rain. Not that that's the worst thing ever. I'm not exactly made of sugar, so I shouldn't have to worry about melting or anything. I'm not the Wicked Witch of the West, so I won't have to be standing there going, I'm melting, I'm melting. You know, sort of a happy medium in between there. I think working on the wings is actually kind of soothing. I mean, it's repetitive and it's not very exciting, but it is kind of soothing. It's just really easy work to do, and you don't really need to put your mind into it, a lot of thought into it or anything. It just, and it has such a nice impact on the overall look. Yeah, no kidding. No guitarist more a wannabe. You know what? Ben Coombs is on at 8 p.m. and Newbie is on at 9. Yeah. Well, you can't be more wannabe as far as guitarists go than I am. So, Ubi gave me, well, he's letting me use anyway, Candy. And occasionally I will pick her up and play, but I'm not very good or very talented or very dexterous. So, and I certainly wouldn't claim to be a guitarist of any measurable skill. I hope to become someday when I get like time to invest in that. It's hard to do because I've got so much else going on. Like I had 7 or 8 things planned to do today, and I just want to let you guys know this is how productive my day went. I got 3 things done. 3 out of like 8 or 9 things I'd wanted to get done. And a lot of that is my fault. It's a lack of organization on my part. I misplaced some critical documents and I have no idea where they are. I have been through everything that I have in the house and I cannot find them. So I'm probably going to have to call somebody tomorrow and see if they can't reprint the documents for me. But the problem is these are documents from 2018 and I'm not entirely sure that they'll have kept those, but I need them if they have. So I hate to inconvenience anybody, but I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and do it. I also hate to admit that I don't have them, but I'm going to have to bite the bullet and do it anyway if I want to get this task accomplished. And I do. You are worlds better than I am, my brother Timothy. I have heard ya. So, as far as skill goes, you can't tell me you have none, because comparatively, you are playing at probably a high school level at least, and I am, well, I'm sure there are kindergartners out there who could easily beat me in a guitar playing competition. Of course, as Ubi says, it's really not a competition with other people. It's a competition with yourself. You know, have you gotten better today? Have you enjoyed yourself more today? Are you getting closer to the payoff that you wanted? It's kind of like writing and art. You know, it's not about how good somebody else is compared to you. Looking at other people's artwork can give you something to aspire to. It can be like, you know, if I can do that. I actually wrote a book called this, I wish I could draw like that, because I heard so many people tell me so often, oh, I wish I could draw like that. And I'm like, well, you can, but how much time have you put into learning? How much time and effort and energy do you put into that goal or that dream? That's the real question. It's not that you can't. It's not that you couldn't do better, maybe even, than I can. But how much time are you willing to invest in it? And that's where a little bit of honesty is necessary, right? We need to be honest with ourselves about where we invest our time and what matters to us and what really doesn't. Yes, he is. He's a much better guitarist than he gives himself credit for, like a lot of you guys. You guys are much better at what you do than you give yourself credit for, Ubi included. Ubi's awful about that. But it's natural. It's part of, I think it's part of being an artist, is that you're always looking at where you are and seeing where you could be, and, you know, comparing kind of yourself to other people's skills and abilities and noticing where you fall short. And so the goal really has to be, I don't want to say stop looking at other people's work or stop paying attention to what other people are doing, but not to use that as a reason to beat yourself, more as a thing to say to yourself, well, you know, this is where they are. I would also like to be there. But to say to yourself, you know, if they can get there, I can get there too. It's just a matter of how much am I willing to put in practice? How often am I willing to show up? How patient am I willing to be with myself while I'm getting where I'm going? I mean, if I look at what I'm doing today, I am miles from where I was even last year in terms of my art skills and abilities. And it's just because I've invested more active time into developing them this year than I have in a long time. And the more time that you invest in something, the better you're going to become at it. Like, my writing is probably better than 99.9% of people out there, but that's only because I spend at least a little of every day writing. I write about all kinds of things, and I'm constantly learning from the people around me new ideas, new techniques, new strategies, testing myself, testing my abilities, constantly working on it. So my art has not improved as fast as my writing because I don't work on my art as much as I work on my writing. And obviously my guitar playing lags behind both of those because, hey, guess what? I don't spend as much time on the guitar as I do on the tablet or on the writing pad, right? So it's kind of a matter of where are you investing your time and energy. Cushman, and you are the only you know, I think you may be right. Although I say that, but I'm not sure because 2 Yards may actually have guitar ability. He seems to have seems to be multi-talented in a lot of different directions. I haven't actually spoken to him about it though, so I can't say for sure whether he does or he doesn't. I know he's got a lot of skills though. Kid is super talented. I love this guitar community, I gotta say. It's probably the best kept secret on YouTube, and I selfishly don't want that to change. But on the other hand, I do want you guys to get more of the recognition you actually deserve. Walmart's blowing your phone up. Yep, yep. The over notification crew. Hey, we're not sure you saw the last 52 messages we sent, so we're going to send you 52 more. You know, I've been thinking, Malachi, what do you think about a castle for your house design? Thinking about doing something a little different for you. Either that, or I could do maybe a top hat as a house. You know, kind of like the Mad Hatter theme. Yeah, if you want to get better at guitar, Malachi, spending more time playing guitar than browsing YouTube can help. Although, if you wanted to combine those two, what you can do is find the backing tracks on YouTube and practice with those. A lot of the guys are finding that really helpful, and I know that's how Randy's gotten some skill. Ooh, lasagna. Nice. I'm a big lasagna happens to be one of my favorite Italian dishes. I'll just be honest with you. You know, that's a funny saying. Have you ever thought about that? Somebody saying to you, I'll just be honest with you, means they haven't been. It's like a blanket admission. Hey, I haven't been honest with you up until now, but now I'm going to be honest with you. That's kind of crazy. Okay. Yeah, we can do the Mad Hatter house. That'll be actually fun. It'll be definitely different than anything else that anybody else is going to have. I kind of wanted it to fit the personality of the person receiving it so that it's something really cool for them. What about Mardi Gras colors? What do you think of that? Or do you have a particular color palette you kind of prefer? You got a degree in culinary arts. That's awesome, Malachi. I would not have guessed that. Now, I don't have a degree in culinary arts, but here's a fine secret for you. I have been cooking since I was 4 years old. So I'm pretty handy in a kitchen. That's something I am confident will be very handy when I actually get my retreat center up and running. The ability to put together simple but very nourishing meals. And kind of my specialty, and I wouldn't mind seeing this as a reality TV show, is feeding people on a budget. Like, you give me $25 and I will be able to put together something decent. I don't have to have a lot of money to spend. because I'm pretty creative with how I use ingredients. Never had a lot of money growing up, so I kind of had to learn poverty cooking, is what I call it. Black with orange, pink, purple. Okay, we can deal with that. And yeah, I can imagine it kind of being one of those things, a specialty house. See, the goal of the Writers Retreat Center, and I say Writers Retreat Center, but it's now more of a creative arts retreat center, is that I really wanted people to be able to come and find these unique little places to stay that would inspire them to do their best creative work. So making creative things is right up in line with that. And these little houses are kind of my way of envisioning what's going to be on the property. So having a Mad Hatter themed house is just genius. And I probably wouldn't have thought of it if not for you, Malachi. So I'm really grateful for that. Cooking is awesome. But there are days when I don't feel like doing it, I will confess. It's kind of hit or miss with me. Some days I feel like cooking, some days I feel like doing nothing. And cooking is like last on my list of things I would like to do. Just depends on my mood. Guess that makes me moody. Ha ha ha. See what I did there? There you go. You'll set it up in the bedroom studio with all the other crazy stuff you've got in there. Yeah. Well, and we'll get on a Zoom and record a call together, and I will make you part of the documentary that I'm going to do about this, because you are traitor number 2. Full confession, my little sister is traitor number 1, but that's okay. I'm just happy that anybody's participating. You never know. When you put something like that out there, you just never know what people are going to do with your stuff. So But I like the idea of being able to use my creative talents and gifts in a way that can help people make incomes of their own, especially people who may not be able to work or who might have other disabilities that cause them problems. It's my way of giving back to the world. I've been given so many gifts, and so many skills, and so many talents. And I feel like people don't value each other enough. And so I kind of want to show people, hey, look, you know, we each have value to offer. We each have value to bring. It's just a matter of helping each other find it. I once got told that there are some people that matter and some people that don't by somebody who called themselves Christian, but clearly didn't understand the mandate there. Because Jesus said we're all worth it to him. There are no worthless people. Now, there might be people their behavior might be worthless, but there are no worthless people. Everybody in this world has something to contribute. And yes, Ubi's stream is coming up right in an hour from now. So we'll be jumping off of this work here at 7:45 so that everybody can take a break, go potty, do what you need to do, and then jump on into Ubi's stream. Because he the man. And you don't want to miss that. And I don't want to miss that. I am beyond thrilled, as Ubi is not just my husband, he is my best friend. And so it's always nice for me to see my best friend finally getting to do the thing that he dreamed of doing for so long and didn't think he could do, which is to entertain people with his music. And now he's doing that on a regular basis, which is cool. And through him and his efforts to live his dream, I've had the chance to meet a lot of awesome people that I would never have otherwise met. I am grateful for that. Whew, now we got that side done. Now we got to come over here and do this side for her. Can't have her be uneven, you know. When I've finally gotten all the wings done, then we'll be back to the bowl. Which, you know, it'll be a bunch of bowl. Ha ha ha. Thank you. Yeah, I ended up giving up on the helmet because I just could not make it look right. It was just total garbage. And I was like, you know what? She deserves better than garbage. So I punted, gave her hair instead of a helmet. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Work with your limitations. Don't try to force the issue. Just work with the limitations. And turned out better than I thought it would. a lot better, as it turns out. Symmetrical, yes. More or less. How long have you been doing drums, Malachi, and what got you into that? Did you do it in high school or something? You've been playing the drums since you were about 6? Wow. Your parents have the patience of angels. But that's cool that you've been doing that long. That is awesome. My mom got my little granddaughter a fake drum kit for like Christmas one year, and she loves that thing. She'll turn it on every now and then and just kind of kick it. One time she decided to try playing with her feet. It was funny. You never know where the influence that will affect a lifetime is going to come from. Self-taught? That's impressive. Booby's a lot self-taught. Now, in more recent years, he took video lessons, online YouTube studio, basically. But mostly self-taught. Me, I don't do so well self-teaching. I guess I'm not patient enough to self-teach. I usually find somebody I can learn from because it's faster for me. And I think that is something you have to be if you're going to self-teach, is super patient with yourself. And patient with the learning curve, because there's always a learning curve. Yeah, a back injury will kill motivation to do much of anything. Booby's had back problems pretty much since the age of 16 on. And it does really sap your motivation, really restrict what you can and can't comfortably do. Kind of have to push through it to get anything done. Eat orange juice? Well, that's an interesting suggestion, Fish. And welcome to the stream. We're just chilling and chatting, and obviously I'm drawing, but Glad to see you. Orange juice is good for a lot of things. Not to mention, it just flat tastes good. It's like nature's candy. Good for you and tastes good. Oh. Oh, no worries, Timmy. Thanks for being in here. I appreciate you coming and stopping by. I love seeing you guys. Getting a chance to chat and catch up. But yes, definitely will see you in Ubi's stream. Which, by the way, is coming up here in about 30 minutes. We'll be on for another 15 on this channel. And then I invite you to stop by and listening to the sweet sounds of my husband playing guitar. He's awesome that way. Hey, Isa. How are you? Good to see you. How are you doing this evening? Thanks for stopping in. We're just putting some feathering into these feathers that the angel has got here. Giving some texture to the feathers so they actually look more like feathers and less like little blobs of paint. Hopefully your Monday's been good. And if not, this is a good place to relax and unwind. Kirby? Okay. Are you an artist, Asa? Or just interested in watching? I don't mind either way. But if you are an artist or you've got a channel that you would like to promote, you're certainly welcome to drop your link in the chat. We'll check it out. cool. Let me give you something. Let's see. You should be able to add links now. In theory. And if not, you can just tell me what your channel name is and I'll go in and look at it. What kind of art do you do? I hope so, Malachi. Thank you for popping that in there. Yeah, my husband's a guitarist, so his stream comes up after mine. You're more than welcome to join us all. We're going to be hopping into his stream probably in about 30 minutes here. And yeah, it's a really chill, probably the most chill part of YouTube that I've found yet. Just a bunch of musicians hanging out, chilling out, chatting live, doing the thing. Awesome community, and it's kind of vibes I really like. You love designing and drawing fruits, human features, and landscapes. You and I have much in common. I'm a fan of drawing human features also. I love landscapes. Fruits not so much, but sometimes. Although I am working on a little piece that I did a while back for a fabric design, but I'm redoing it hopefully as an animation called The Roots of Rock, and it's literally root vegetables in a rock band. I thought that was pretty funny. You know what? I can pop that up and kind of show you, give you a preview of what that looks like. We'll take a momentary interruption of our work on the angel, and I will show you the band. Yay! Let me get this out of the way. That is our Roots of Rock. Naturally, Spud is our guitarist. We got Rutabaga, the bassist, Carrot, the vocalist, and Beats, the drummer. So that's our characters that I've been working on behind the scene. Just a little bit of fun. Every once in a while, I like to kick back and do something just totally off the chain. Honestly, you never know quite what I'm going to do. I never know what I'm going to do. What am I talking about? Sometimes I get crazy ideas and I pursue them. Like, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but there's a video on my feed that you might want to look for. It's called Fishing for Tone. It's a joke with the guitar community. There's a gentleman in the guitar community, Brian, whose channel is Searching for Tone. Awesome guy. If you don't know who he is, you ought to go check him out. But at any rate, he does cool stuff on his channel, reviews and things like that. So anyway, at one point in time, my husband made a joke with him. He's like, you know, I'm just waiting for you to start that new channel, Fishing for Tone. Well, that was all it took. My little brain took off with that, and I not only spent time creating an entire fake logo for his new Fishing for Tone channel, but then I made a theme song to go with it, because that's how my brain rolls. If we're going in, we're going all in. No holds barred. So are you just an artist? Not that being an artist is just anything, but do you just do art? Are you exclusive to art? Or do you have other gifts and talents also? Aza? Ah, apparently my mouth didn't want to talk. Piano, crafts, still in school, motivation issues. Nice. So, a piano player, huh? Ha ha ha. Well, if you're a musician, you'll fit right in with this community. Most of my people that actually watch this stream are musicians. Malachi is a drummer, Ubi's a guitarist, Timothy Richards, that was in here earlier, is also a guitarist. And then, yeah, there's me. I'm a vocalist. Although I have aspirations of learning piano and guitar at some point. I'm also a writer and a lot of other things. So variety tends to be the hallmark of my stream. It's one of the reasons why I was asking. Actually, I loved school. I absolutely loved school. But you have to understand why I loved school. School was my safe place. It was the place where I didn't get hurt. Home was not that place. Home was bad news. And so school became my refuge. It was where I got affirmation and validation that I didn't get at home. But I recognize that for a lot of people that wasn't the case. That's true, Malachi. That's true. I really didn't understand why people wouldn't like school until I got to be older and recognize that, you know what, not everybody's safe place was school. Some people, school was a nightmare. Nothing but failure and disappointment. So I have mad respect for people who didn't like school and found it just a tedious waste of time. But I loved it. I also happen to be the kind of person who loves learning new things and mastering things, so it kind of fits my temperament too. it's annoying for you because you have to focus on so much and you have a lot of things to do still. Oh, you really like baking? Well, welcome to the party. The rest of us in here, except for Ubi, like cooking too. So you are in good company here. When Ubi and I first met, his definition of cooking was sticking something in a microwave and pushing buttons. Not his fault. Nobody'd really taken time to teach him to cook. He's much better now. When I really get in the mood, I like making things from total scratch. Like, even down to like taking the pumpkin and cutting it in chunks and boiling it and pureeing it and then making like pumpkin bread or pumpkin muffins with what I've personally made. But because of the amount of work that stuff takes, I really don't invest in it very often because I'm usually way too busy to get there. But I do like doing it. I just hate the cleanup afterward. Me too. Me too. My mom used to make the most incredible pumpkin muffins when I was a kid, and you know, I became addicted. She made a lot of things actually, and she's really the reason that I love cooking like I do, because I think it was like time spent in the kitchen with my mom was a lot of where I learned to cook, and then after school, my sister and I would make cookies and things like that. And I really don't know how my mother didn't notice how fast her sugar was disappearing, because really she should have, and I know she would have stopped it if she'd have noticed, but maybe she was just too busy with her things to pay attention. I'm pretty sure we were running through a major amount of her like sugar supplies, because we used to make batches of cookies after school every single day. We were so bad. But that was part of where I learned to love cooking, was doing it with my mom and then my older sister after school and stuff. And experimenting with different recipes. She had this Betty Crocker cookbook, and it was the most amazing thing. Yeah. She also would make this incredible bread pudding with lemon sauce that was just out of this world. And I absolutely loved that. I miss it. And I've not been able to replicate the recipe she used, unfortunately. Oh, no worries. No worries. But thanks for stopping in, Asa. We'll have to check out your stream. Did you put your link in? If you didn't, go ahead. We'll check out your channel. Always like to support fellow artists, fellow YouTubers. I do my arts on Monday, and then I do writing on Saturdays. So if you happen to have time or something and you want to pop in, you're more than welcome anytime. Well, if you ever do get brave enough, let us know. I hope you start putting it out there, but I can understand about being a little shy with it. But here's the truth. You will never know how good or how bad you really are until you find the courage to put it out there and let other people see it. You might surprise yourself in the pleasant direction. We are getting along with this wings. These bettas are coming along nicely. Yes, they are. We'll actually be able to start work on the bowl next stream. I mean, you know, I did flesh it out a little bit, but we haven't really touched it this stream. I still have to decide on its color scheme, though. I know it's a golden bowl, so... But I also don't want it to blend in too much with the angel. Yes, embrace the suck, as my husband says. Embracing the suck is his motto. Basically, if you aren't willing to suck until you get good enough to not suck, you'll never get to the point where you're as good as you want to be. Golden black. It's an interesting suggestion. Not sure how I'd implement it, but we'll work on it. Maybe like a scorched black, like a gold with like, of course, gold doesn't tarnish. That's the thing about gold. That's one of the reasons why it was used by kings and things like that, is that it doesn't tarnish. It's one of those things that doesn't corrupt, which is also why it's a symbol for goodness and light and purity, is that it doesn't become corrupt, but it does tend to corrupt people who want to accumulate it. Maybe what we'll do is we'll make it the gold, but then we'll cast it in shadow so that the gold is the darker, shows up darker, I guess would be the right way to say it. We'll see when we get there. Cross that bridge when we come to it. Yeah, I do, now that you're talking about it, I do like the idea of the bowl being in shadow. Like it's not gleaming because it's so shadowed. And that's appropriate symbology for the bowl coming from the shadows, if you will. It's one thing I've always said is that, well, not always, but something I learned early in my design career, graphic design career, because I was a graphic designer for a couple of Fortune 500 companies for a little while. But at any rate, something I learned is that, first of all, every design you work on, it's a rough draft. It's a conversation starter, not the conversation ender. The conversation ender comes when the client is satisfied. But really great graphic design comes as a team effort. It's a process of multiple people putting their input in that really gives the ideas that'll make a design just exceptional. It's not usually the work of a single mind, but a bunch of people coming together to make their suggestions and put their ideas out there. And that's what usually turns out to make the best design work. It's people playing off each other's creative suggestions. That's why I'm a big believer. If somebody offers you a suggestion, at least consider it. You know, maybe you don't end up implementing it. Maybe you can't figure out how to make it work. But it will take your design in a direction that is almost inevitably going to land better than what you would have produced on your own. I think really that's probably true in life too, is that most of life is better as a collaborative effort. Yes, you may be a virtuoso, your ideas may be exceptional and every single one of them be great, but we were all meant to work together, and there are things that somebody else can bring to the table that you just can't. Ideas that they'll have because of things that they've encountered that you would never have thought of on your own, but that may actually make that design that much better. Exactly. Just like when you guys get together with me on Saturday and you guys are making input and suggestions, and suddenly the story is taking shape in ways I never would have thought of, because what you're doing is you're contributing your life experiences to the story. And so those life experiences start shaping the story in directions I never would have thought to take it, which makes the story infinitely better and more interesting. Whereas if I tried to keep control of the process, I could get an interesting story done, sure, but it's not going to be as great as the story that we're working on together. Teamwork really does make the dream work when it comes to creative endeavors. That's why bands are almost inevitably better than soloists. Soloists may be great, but the band can just layer in so many different sounds that a soloist can't. Add so much variety, so much flavor. I enjoy having you around, Ubi. Or Ubi. Ha 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 ha. Malachi. Yeah, I enjoy having you in my streams, and I know Ubi does too. You know, it's cool hanging out with you. It's kind of become like a little family. We don't live near much of our own family, and even when we did, we weren't necessarily close to them. And it's nice to have a group of people that we genuinely know and that genuinely know us and just can chill out with and talk. Getting closer to being done with this angel. She is looking snazzy, though. She's worth the time. Well worth the time it takes to make her look good. She's a central figure in the cover art, so it's kind of important to spend the time. Plus, I do plan to use her design in other things, so the time I'm taking now is not just for this one design. It's setting the stage for multiple things that will be created with her image. So, because I'm the kind of person who believes if you're going to design something, you should probably work to get maximum value out of what you've invested your time in creating. So I'll usually look for multiple ways that I can repurpose a single design into multiple things. Like she's going to become channel merch for the store, holiday channel merch, you know, start rolling her out probably in late November for Christmas. And she's also going to become a fabric design. And she'll become other things. We'll see. But she'll get lots of use. So the time that I'm taking here is an investment in making sure that she's her absolute best for all the things that I decide to use her for. And that way I don't have to go back in and clean her up later. Just have her nice and ready to go every time that I want to use her in something. Well, we have 3 minutes left until the end of this stream. So, I'm going to do what I have been forgetting to do all along. It is time for shilling. Time for you to promote yourself. If you have something you want to promote, toss it in the channel. Maybe nobody's watching right now, but they might be watching later and maybe they'll come check it out. Tell us a little bit about it and a little bit about what we can expect if we get over there, and we'll let people see if they want to join. Like I mentioned earlier, Ubi's stream is coming up here in 3 minutes, which is why we're hopping out and we're going to jump in his chat room, and then we will enjoy that for the next couple of hours. Going once, going twice. Nearly sold to the highest bidder. 1, 2, 3, sold to the highest bidder. You ever feel like that's what politicians do, is sell their souls to the highest bidder? I know I do. Thanks for joining me, Malachi. And I will definitely be seeing you over in Ubi's stream and catching some of your drum tracks. I have been enjoying those. Do an awesome job. Yeah. Oh, we got almost every single feather in place on this girl. We can now count on one, well, not one hand. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, probably about 20, 30 more feathers to do, and then we can get to work really on that bowl. Oh, I turned the bowl off. That's right. So I'm going to save this, close it, and we'll come back in here and we'll see what a difference the feathering's made. Oh yeah, you can tell such a difference between the ones that are feathered and the ones that aren't. So pretty. And of course we'll be getting over here with our bowl. Got so much work to do. But that's the exciting thing. An hour a week. And we get to work on these pieces and watch them come to life and watch them develop over time. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great evening.